The movie begins on a remote island in the South Pacific, where an adventurous young girl named Nim has built a life with her father Jack. The two have spent years sailing the world together, searching for answers about Nim's mother while discovering countless wonders of the sea. Eventually, fate brought them to this island, a place so untouched and wild that it became their sanctuary, the one place that finally felt like home. Nim's childhood is anything but ordinary. Instead of neighbors, she has a pelican named Galileo, a sea lion named Selkie, a wise old turtle, and a feisty lizard named Fred. These aren't just animals to her. They are her companions, her protectors, and her family. Jack teaches her everything he knows about the natural world, and she learns the rest through exploring the island and devouring her favorite adventure books about the heroic Alex Rover. One night, Jack returns from an expedition, convinced he has discovered a new species of plankton. Nim is eager to hear about it, but she's just as excited about the latest Alex Rover novel she found in their supply shipment. When she asks Jack whether courage is something people are born with, he tells her it's something learned, built through the choices we make every day. Those words will soon matter more than either of them expect. Far away in San Francisco, the real writer behind the Alex Rover books, Alexandra Rover, is battling a very different challenge. Though she creates stories about bravery, she herself fears the outside world. Agoraphobic, anxious, and isolated, she barely manages to open her door for package deliveries. Her only connection to adventure is what she writes. But even that is becoming difficult, especially now that her story involves a volcano she knows nothing about. Searching for information, Alexandra finds one of Jack's scientific articles online. She emails him, hoping to understand volcanic behavior for her book. But when Nim checks the computer in Jack's absence, she sees the message and replies with excitement, believing she's talking to the real Alex Rover, the adventurer she idolizes. Alexandra continues the conversation, pretending to be her fictional hero, unaware that her words are shaping a young girl's hopes on the other side of the world. Meanwhile, Jack heads out to sea on a solo expedition, leaving Nim on the island to watch over their home. He promises to return in 2 days, but that night, a powerful storm sweeps across the ocean. Wind howls, waves explode against the boat, and lightning splits the sky. Jack fights desperately to keep control, but the storm tears his mast apart and sends his craft drifting into the endless waters. Nim, shaken awake by the raging wind on the island, has no idea how close she is to losing him. Morning reveals chaos. The house has been battered, tools scattered, and worst of all, there's no sign of Jack's return. Nim tries calling him through the satellite phone, but silence answers back. Still, she tells herself he'll return tomorrow. She has to believe it. Instead of panicking, she focuses on her responsibilities, fixing the generator, securing the house, and checking on the newly hatched turtle babies. Alexandra's emails continue, asking about the island's volcano for her book. Determined to help her hero, Nim climbs the mountain alone, but the ground trembles beneath her, forcing her to flee. She slips, falls badly, and slices her leg open. Limping home in pain, she messages Alex Rover, asking for help. Alexandra panics. She never imagined a child was depending on her advice. She pulls out medical books, giving Nim instructions as best she can, and for the first time feels responsible for someone other than herself. As Nim treats her injury, she spots something on the horizon, a ship slowly approaching the island. When she climbs a tree to get a better look, her heart freezes. Painted across the hull is a name she knows all too well, Buccaneer. This is the same type of ship involved in the disappearance of her mother. Fear turns into anger as Nim watches the crew come ashore, excitedly discussing turning her island into a tourist paradise. Nim races home and tries desperately to call Jack again. No answer. Her heart sinks. She turns instead to Alexandra, writing that the Buccaneers are coming, her leg is swollen, and she doesn't know what to do. Alexandra finally realizes the truth. Nim is alone on a hidden island, her father missing, her home under threat. She tries calling emergency services, but without a name or official location, no one can help. The only person left is Alexandra herself. Her imaginary version of Alex Rover appears in her mind once more, urging her to act, not as a fictional hero, but as herself. Alexandra is terrified. She hasn't left her apartment in months, but something inside her shifts. She cannot abandon Nim. Trembling but determined, she packs her bags, steps outside, and forces herself into a taxi. It is the first step of the bravest journey she will ever make. Back on the island, Nim refuses to back down. She builds traps, creates alarms, and enlists her animal friends to help defend their home. She is scared, terrified even, but she won't let anyone take the island her father loves. As the Buccaneer ship brings tourists ashore, Nim fights back with courage far bigger than her size, driving the intruders into chaos with clever distractions and wild jungle-style tricks. Her leg throbs with pain, but she keeps going. She creates fake volcanic eruptions, sends rocks rolling down the mountain, and convinces the panicked visitors that the island is on the verge of destruction. In the middle of the chaos, a young boy named Edmund spots her. Fascinated, not frightened, he tries to talk to Nim, but she runs, focused only on protecting her home and hoping her father will return. Meanwhile, Alexandra is enduring her own nightmare. She survives the airport, boards a plane, battles motion sickness, faces turbulence, and traverses unfamiliar airports. Every step pushes her further from her fears and closer to becoming the hero she always wrote about. Eventually, she boards a small cargo boat headed toward Nim's island, but storms force the crew to land her on the Buccaneer ship itself. When the captain and tourists recognize her as the Alex Rover writer, she tries to explain she's searching for a child alone on the island. They dismiss her concerns, but Edmund steps forward. He believes her because he saw Nim with his own eyes. Alexandra takes her chance. She steals a small boat and launches herself into the water. The island finally in sight. Waves batter the tiny vessel, and exhaustion drags her under. But she keeps fighting. If someone you admired was risking their life to reach you, even through their own fear, what would you do? Would you trust them? Would you let them help? Tell me in the comments what you think you would do in Nim's place. Nim, hearing splashing near shore, rushes outside thinking Jack has finally returned. Instead, she finds Alexandra, half drowned, barely conscious, struggling to stay afloat. Nim leaps into action, diving into the water and dragging her ashore with Selkie's help. Both collapse on the sand, gasping for air. When Nim wakes, she is stunned and disappointed that Alexandra is nothing like the fearless adventurer she imagined. Alexandra tries to explain that she is the writer behind Alex Rover, not the warrior herself. Nim feels betrayed. She wanted a hero. She wanted someone strong, brave, and unshakable. Someone who could stand in her father's place. Instead, she sees a frightened woman who seems just as lost as she is. Hurt and frustrated, Nim tells Alexandra to leave before Jack returns. But Alexandra isn't ready to give up. Not on Nim, and not on herself. Encouraged by her imaginary Alex Rover, she follows Nim back to the house. Over time, Nim begins to see that courage comes in many forms. Alexandra tries new foods, faces the wild animals with trembling determination, and listens with empathy as Nim shares her fears about her father. The next morning, Alexandra finds Nim staring out at the endless ocean. Nim's voice cracks as she admits she's afraid Jack will never return. Alexandra gently comforts her, insisting that Jack, like any hero, will fight his way back. Her words are kind, but Nim's eyes remain on the horizon, full of hope yet sinking under doubt. Then something moves in the distance. A small damaged boat pushing through the water, growing larger with every wave. Nim's heart leaps. She sprints across the sand, joy overpowering every fear she's held on to. Jack steps onto the beach, battered but alive, and sweeps his daughter into his arms. He kept his promise. He came home. Alexandra watches with relief as father and daughter reunite, tears in her eyes. Jack thanks Galileo, the loyal pelican, who guided him back through the open sea. Nim proudly introduces Alexandra as the writer of the Alex Rover books, and Jack's expression softens with admiration. It is the beginning of a new chapter neither of them expected. In the days that follow, Alexandra slowly embraces island life. She may not be fearless like the hero she writes about, but she has proven something far more important. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the choice to do what's right, even when the world feels impossible to face. And Nim, who once doubted herself, learns that she has always been the hero of her own story. Jack repairs what he can, but decides that the island doesn't need to be perfect for them to stay. What matters is the life they built together, the laughter, the friendship, the wild adventures, and now the unexpected addition of Alexandra, who discovers that maybe the island is where she truly belongs. As evening settles over the ocean, the three of them share a peaceful moment, looking out at the waves that brought them together. The storms, the fears, the battles, all of it led to this: family, courage, and the realization that even the smallest spark of bravery can change a life forever. If you enjoyed this cinematic recap, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another adventure. And don't forget to comment which movie you want to see next. See you in the next one!